Hey, what's going on guys, Nova here, and welcome back to episode 4 of my solo Skyblock series. I am so happy to be back. I took a few days off just because I wanted to focus on a little bit of school, just to get some assignments caught up on and do some homework, but I was casually grinding in the background. As you see, I got like about 100 million just by like selling the diamonds and emeralds I got from mine. That's pretty much all I've been doing. But exams are coming around, and therefore I'm likely going to be taking a little bit of a break from content creation later in the week. So I want to see if I can pump out as much videos from now, so that later in the week I don't have to worry too much about videos and I can focus more on classes and exams, stuff like that. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe today and tomorrow I'm going to make a bunch of bulk videos, cut them up and then schedule them to release throughout the next 2 weeks. That way I actually have content flowing while I'm not here, and I won't like cause a bit of a standstill with my channel. For that reason, you might notice that a lot of the videos I'm gonna have over the next 2 weeks are gonna kind of be low progression in a way, mainly because they'll all be made today and tomorrow. And then afterwards, you'll notice that a lot of the progression will be very fast, because I'll likely be grinding in between those 2 weeks where videos are posting, and then afterwards you'll see like a bulk update of where I am. Slightly related, I'm going to be making the next few videos a bit shorter and more focused towards what I'm doing, so each video will have like a specific purpose. That way you guys understand basically what I'll be doing during my free time, so I'm not really studying as much, so that I can make money. Also, obviously allow you guys to make money as well through these similar methods. But yeah, in this episode we're going to be basically setting up DBoss, learning all the things we need to know about DBoss, and basically making sure that you guys are ready whenever you want to go in and start doing DBoss. So to get started, I'm going to kind of go into like what is DBoss or Dragon Boss, but basically if you do /DBoss, it brings up this menu, and it just has 5 tabs that kind of goes over like everything related to it overall. So there's Dragon Armor, which are all the armors that you can make with DBoss. There's the teleport, which allows you to teleport to the arena. The fragment reroll, where you can reroll your fragments into different types of fragments. Crafting, which allows you to physically create the armor, and then obviously deconstructing, which deconstructs your armor into the fragment pieces. So there's 7 types of dragon armors, and it starts with explosive, which is basically used for mining, which is the one I really want since I'm mainly doing mining. Then there's colossal, which is mainly used for grinding mobs. There's also experience, which increases XP gain, but is usually only used for the set bonus whenever they want to scrap books. Hasty dragon armor gives you an increase in MCMO earn rate and also lengthens MCMO mobility, which would be pretty useful whenever using like super miner, but I think they're just better armors for mining outside of Hasty, so Hasty's kind of bad in my opinion. But then these 3 ones are like the big, like really good ones, and it starts with defensive, which basically increases your damage to mobs and bosses, the important thing being bosses, because if you have higher damage on the boss, well, I'll go into how it works, but pretty much just know it's really good. It also gives you increased summoning eye drops, which is another thing I'll explain, which is also really good. There's Ancient, which increases sky coin gain from basically all methods as well as souls earned. And then of course you have Champion, which actually gives you a sell multiplier on everything you sell, which is really good, and is actually a big push to why a lot of the meta has rounded out the way it has when it comes to Vex spawners. I'll likely explain that a little bit more when I go into Vex spawners, but for now just know that these 3 ones are really good and sells for a lot of money, and then these 4 ones are kind of situational, except for Colossal, which is just generally seen as pretty good, and in my opinion Explosives is a lot better than people actually grant it. For now we're going to skip over the arena, because when we get into there we're kind of going to just start immediately, but we're going to go into fragment reroll, which basically allows you to put in 5 fragments to get 1 fragment in return, but it costs $5 million and 50,000 sky coins. Generally this isn't really worth it. It'd probably be cheaper to sometimes just buy the fragment, especially when you'll end up getting sometimes worse fragments. It's not really that worth it. It's a cool thing to keep in mind, but I really don't think the costs make sense given that it's a random item you're getting. Crafting, obviously, use it to physically craft the armor, and if I go to here, you can see kind of how the crafting works. So there are 5 tiers, each of them getting better as the tiers go up, and it takes 10 of the items made in like the setting of the armor, so you know, chest plate, leggings, stuff like that. And then beyond that, you can level them up using 80 pieces on the armor pieces to go up in tier. So it takes a lot of pieces to get a full set. It's actually insane, especially when like even at the high level you're getting like 25 per dragon at max. So that's kind of why it rounds out the way it is, and it's really expensive, and it's kind of hard to get them. I'd heard that last season like the top islands didn't even get like tier 5 in the big armors, but It's a cool system. I actually like the fact that people don't often get to the max tier, just because that kind of ruins the economy in a way, because eventually whenever everyone gets the item, no one really wants it anymore, and that's just kind of how it rounds out. Then obviously we have Deconstruct, which allows you to deconstruct the armor into pieces and just get it back, because sometimes you can get full armor pieces and it's just like prevents you from having to just sell it or getting rid of it. I actually have an explosive piece that I bought from someone, so what I'm going to do actually is just show you exactly how much I get from it. So if I put this in, you're going to see I'm going to get 6 fragments back, and obviously since it took 10 per slots and 7 for the pants took 70, you kind of see that it's not even slightly worth it, so it's usually just better to sell it to someone else just to get the money back. Regardless, with that in mind, we're actually going to go to the DBoss Arena. I'm just going to show you exactly how this works. So usually, yeah, you'll see a drum people run around, people in their colossal armors and some champion armor, no, defensive armors, that's what it is. And people just kind of trying to grind DBoss. And pretty much the way it works is that, oh, actually there's 16 pieces in. Okay, I might have to join this. But the way it works is, ooh, I'm lagging a little bit. Yeah, DBoss kind of lags, sometimes it's kind of weird, but it usually rounds out the longer you're in there. But yeah, so basically you're going to kill these shadow summoners. And pretty much as you do that, you're gonna see it says guaranteed summoning eye in, well, 35. I killed them a few times earlier, so actually funny enough, I kill this, you're gonna see I get the summoning eye and it goes straight to my overflow. So if I do slash over, okay, well the dragon just spawned, so I might as well die dragon. Oh my god, I don't think I'm gonna get anything from this, mainly because I came in so late and I haven't actually been able to put stuff on my sword yet. But yeah, for now, I'm just gonna like show you guys basically how it works. But yeah, people are gonna come in here, they're all gonna summon the dragon, and then everyone's gonna slowly go down and try to damage the dragon. My bow isn't even slightly upgraded because I wanted to do that on camera, so unfortunately you're not gonna see anything here. But pretty much when you go in, you fight it, and the dragon dies, and then it shows you the top 5 people who dealt damage. Now, each of them are going to get some pieces. Obviously, I got no pieces because I dealt like 0 damage. But in general, I'm going to show you how that works more so. So yeah, pretty much I'm just going to run around and you're just going to like kill these like shadow summoners. And the idea is you want to kill them as much as possible. They have a very small % chance of like actually dropping the eye. But obviously it's a guaranteed eye after 35 kills. So as long as you're in here grinding, eventually you will actually gain the eyes. Now, another important thing to mention, and so kind of the reason I wasn't really grinding them before, is actually because of the Masteries. So there's actually a Mastery in the Endstone Mastery that kind of focuses on the Dragon Boss. And it gives you stuff like taking 25% less damage in the Boss Arena at tier 6, as well as gaining increase in the maximum of fragments at tier 8. These are very important to get, especially the increasing fragments, because you can actually only get a maximum of 25 fragments per dragon killed, so it's important to be able to increase that cap so that you don't actually fall behind or waste any pieces. Now, obviously you're competing against other players, so you want to make sure you're dealing as much damage as physically possible, and that's where enchants come in. So, I bought an Easter bow and an Easter sword earlier. I believe I bought the Easter sword for about 15 mil and the Easter bow for about 45 mil, just because they're what I had at the time and I might as well. Easter bows actually go for a lot of money, specifically because people want them for DBoss, but Easter swords are usually a bit cheaper just because the sword damage is often not as important as the bow damage. Regardless, I'm going to try and put these enchants on the sword, and we're just going to do the sword and the bow. We're just going to do the same thing we did with the pickaxe. We're going to reroll till we get a high percent. Lucky enough, this one's already a high percent. And then we're going to use sky corns in order to get the white scrolls in order to up the percent to 100%. But slightly I'm going to go over like what they do before so I can put them on. And we have Dragon Slayer, which increases your sword damage when fighting the dragon bosses. Dragon Hunter, which increases your bow damage while fighting the dragon bosses. Bounty, which gives you a random buff while lining a shot. This can be speed, strength, resistance, jump boost. People usually use it for jump boost, but it's just something to help you out since it actually procs. Dragon Tracker, which actually allows you to fire additional arrows in the Dungeon Boss Arena. And then Fiery Barrage, which allows you to shoot multiple arrows overall. So naturally you want these to be as high level as possible. The only ones I have high level right now are Dragon Hunter and Dragon Slayer, but fortunately those are kind of the most important ones, so that kind of worked out. So I'm going to apply these real quick and we will be right back. Alright, so we applied the enchants. Lucky enough I did find a Bounty 3, so we were able to put that on instead of just having Bounty 2. Which is important because we do want to try and get Strength 3 some of the times, as well as Speed 3, but regardless, it's still nice to have a higher number than a lower number. Another important enchant kind of is Dragon Protection, but usually you don't usually die to the dragon. I believe Explosive as well as the higher tier dragons are the only ones that sometimes kill me. Otherwise, I'm not really concerned about dying, and most of the times you kind of already do the damage or you don't do the damage. Even if you die, you should still get the rewards, especially with what I'm going to tell you in a little bit. So naturally with Dungeon Boss being super competitive, given that you're against other players, there is always that thing where it's like, well, the higher damage people are always gonna beat me. Well, that's actually not always the case. See, the way it works is that obviously the people who do the most damage do actually get the most rewards, but there is also a thing where whenever you place a eye, you get automatic rewards. So the way it currently works is that every 2 eyes you get, you automatically get 5 fragments of whatever the dragon actually spawned. So if a explosive dragon spawn, you placed 4 eyes, you'll automatically get 10 fragments. So generally the way it works, at least for me, is that I like to grind up 4 eyes, put those 4 eyes in, and then that way, even if I don't get on the leaderboard, I always get at least confirmed those 10 eyes. Now, 10 eyes for explosive doesn't really matter because explosive sells for 200k a pop, but when it comes to 10 eyes for something like champion that can often sell for 10 million a pop, it can be really, really good. Obviously, champions really, really rare, and you kind of have to grind a lot to actually be able to get those, and obviously be lucky, and there's a bunch of things that go into it. Generally, you just kind of want to do it, and whatever happens, happens. Now, I would also recommend carrying some golden apples just to limit the damage you take. It doesn't really matter because if you die in here, you won't actually lose anything, you do keep everything, but it's just a nuisance, a pain in the ass, and it's just good to have. Now, if you can see how many, there actually aren't that many eyes placed yet. I could go ahead and place the 4 I have just because why not? So yeah, I'm going to do that. So basically, the way you walk up, you just right click it. I'm just going to place 4 real quick just to make sure I at least get those 10 fragments confirmed. Then in the meantime, while other people grind up, I'm just going to go ahead and just start fighting stuff just because why not? Ooh, we actually found a really big group of them here. It sometimes, well, they spawn in groups, but often you find them alone. I've been finding a lot of them alone, but lucky enough, I did find a group here, which is super duper awesome. Usually I like to do them one by one, just because if someone comes in and tries to take your group, you kind of want to limit how much they can take at once. Also, you don't really want them spam hitting you, just get to pain to try and not die. Now, to be honest, I probably should see about trying to get some strength potions. Ooh, found another big group here. That's pretty useful. So I can try and get... Ooh, the summoning eye is actually 2 up. So 2 more eyes and we'll be able to fight the dragon. 1 more and we'll be able to fight the dragon. I should probably go fight the dragon. We're almost there. I could place the last one, but I don't want to because... Oh, dragon spawning. Alright, let's go. Alright, so we're going to run back to the middle. Everyone's going to pretty much start running. And I'm going to see if I can just start fighting them. So, as you see, a lot of arrows are fighting, especially not just from me, but from everyone. And I've already doubled the amount of damage I did last time. Oh, there we go. Oh, Jesus, that is loud. I'm gonna have to turn some of that down. But it's explosive. It's actually the one I want. So we are gonna go about trying to get him as soon as possible. We're at 37 right now, not that much. Yeah, so as you see, Explosive Dragon does a lot of damage. Let's see if we can try and get him. Yeah, Explosive's the one dragon that actually kills people, and woo, this one actually didn't even perch, so we actually had to boom the entire time. But as you see, I wasn't even on the top 10, and I not only got a boss pouch, but I actually just got 10 dragon fragments. Obviously, since Explosive Dragon I kinda want, this is really, really good for me, and I might see about buying some more fragments later. So I'm gonna place these 2 eyes just to get them placed. I'm gonna go back to grinding for a little bit just to see if I can get more eyes. I want to try to get 4 eyes every time the dragon spawns, but sometimes that's a little easier said than done. Now, I really should set up my potion system just to get the strength potions and then later get the jump boost potions, but I haven't been able to do that yet, so I might work on that very, very soon just to make sure I get it done and then go from there. Now, just in case you guys are seeing, you do see in the bottom you get XP and sky coins from doing this. Don't worry about that. The XP is negligible, you don't really get that much anyway, and the sky coins, that's not a comma, that's a period, so that is 5 sky coins, not 5,000, so. Alright, so I got 2 more summoning eyes, but unfortunately I already summoned the dragon, so I'm gonna see what we get. Ooh, and the experience. Okay, experience is not that good. I mean, it's actually the worst dragon, so I mean, might as well just see what we get. Not really much we can really do with this, but might as well get the fragments because kind of want to build a collection, and I mean they sell for a decent bit anyway. I believe there's some people that buy experience, at least for 300k or something. You can kind of look at the top islands just to see how much they sell it for, and see how much you get for it. CC Bounty just popped, giving me regen 2, which isn't that useful. Oh, I actually just got jump boost, which is pretty awesome here. Ugh. Now, to me, to mention, I find grinding DBoss to be incredibly boring. Like, it's just not really for me. It takes, like, really, really long, and, like, the chance of actually getting something good is, like, actually super duper low. And it's like you do get the confirms things, and whenever a good dragon spawns, you can get, like, a sick, like, nasty amount of money. So what I might do is just, like, kind of grind just till we get something good, but for the most part, it is just such a boring thing to do. I don't know, it takes, like, so much of your attention to, like, sit here and, like, grind all the mobs, and then try to hit top 10, and then you don't actually get, like, top tier in the leaderboards. It's just, it's so much, and it's really exhausting. I know, it's so much and it's really exhausting, but it's just something, like, people like to do. People enjoy, like, grinding DBoss for a really, really long time throughout the day. But there's so many other things you can do, and the main only reason that people buy DBoss stuff for so much is because it's so boring and it takes, like, a lot of time, so a lot of the higher level people just don't want to do it. And I don't know, it's just not for me. It's super exhausting. I do want to see about getting the explosive gear, though. I really want to see about getting that. I know I could buy all the pieces. Ooh, I just got a free eye. I know I could buy all the pieces, and that might be what I do for now. But obviously, I want to, like, just do this a little bit just to see what I can get and try to get something. Now, definitely outside of doing that, it's a lot better when you do have, like, pets for it. Stuff like the Iron Golem pet, which gives you strength and resistance, as well as... I know there's another pet. Yeah, and the Summoner's pet that gives you increased chance of dropping the ice, so just, like, pretty good. But otherwise, really, that's all it is. You just kind of sit here and, like, try to kill these, and then summon the dragon, and then try to hit... Oh my god, I'm getting comboed! Yeah, and then you just try to hit, like, top tier, like, on the dragon. And if you hit top tier, like, it's a good boost. But other than that, you're kind of just, like, sitting here, grinding them non-stop, getting your eyes, planting your eyes. It's not my kind of content. Yeah, so for those who actually grind this, you can make, like, a bunch of money. I know that it's a lot easier when you get strength and when you get colossal armor, and obviously, like, if you do even get the slight chance of getting those really good dragons, you can make, like, a crazy amount of money. I think Ice Top's buying, like, each champion fragment for, like, 40 million a piece or something crazy like that. So there is a lot of money to be gained from doing this, but it takes a lot of time, and, like, it's kind of RNG, and it's very attention heavy. Like, you need to pay, like, a lot of attention to do this. So there are definitely better ways of making money, mainly a cactus farm, which is something I do really need to work on. I kind of got to get my cactus farm running. I've been kind of slacking with that. Yeah, but I did set up my servants to make strings so that I could get the cactus farm set up. I just haven't, like, gotten around to it, because it's another thing that takes a lot of time. There's a lot of things on the server that does take time, but it's good because there's kind of always something to do, always something to strive towards. And obviously, if, like, you make your own decisions, your own, like, targets to go for, it kind of makes things, like, a lot more fun. Like, if you want to hit Ice Top, you want to get Ice Top. You want to, like, create all the, like, armor pieces for the dragon bosses. You want to create all the armor pieces. You want to make the biggest farm in the world. You can. There's a lot of, like, different things you can do, which I think is really, really awesome. Now, there are a lot of people grinding Dragon Boss, and a lot of people in defensive armor, so the chance of, like, getting in the top tier is, like, super, super duper low. So pretty much just focus on getting the summoning eyes so that you can get, like, your confirmed eyes. That's kind of what you have to go for. And if you do get lucky, or if, like, it's late enough in the night and there aren't a lot of people on, that's a good chance to get stuff done. Every once in a while, I'll check back when there's, like, not many people online just to see if I can, like, by chance, just sneak in. So that's usually what I want to do. Oop, it's spawning. Oh my god, it's a defensive. Okay, this is actually really, really good. It's a defensive. So, obviously, a lot of people want to buy the defensive pieces, because if you buy the defensive pieces, you can get pretty much more pieces. So, oh my gosh, is he perching? Oh, he didn't perch. I thought he perched. Alright, so, yeah, we're at 50 right now, which is not a lot at all. A lot of the, ooh. Ah, I didn't get hit off. Yeah, I know a lot of people, like, make, like, kind of, like, Dragon Boss parties where they'll come, like, real late at night when no one else is on and, like, try and kill them. But I don't know, I've just never gotten around to doing that. I wanted to reset. Oh, there we go. So he's perched. Alright, so see if I can strike. Oh, serrated strikes are activated, so get some damage off. Let's see if we can go. And oh, Alright, there we go. So I just got 12 fragments and I wasn't even to be honest, like I didn't even have to deal any damage. I could just like summon and just like let them fight it. Just because I am getting the confirmed 10 anyway, and I guess the boss pouch. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works, is you just like go in, you kill the summoners, you try and get the eyes, you place the eyes, and you just kind of get value off that. Now, with that in mind, what I'm actually going to do, so I just did /ice top, and I'm currently the #1 person's island. I know they buy and sell pieces. I'm actually not sure for how much. Yeah, so right here we have, I go to my overflow, we have explosive, experienced, and defensive. I want to keep the explosive obviously because I want to use them. I also should have some pieces that I got from another time if I can find them. They actually like buy these things for a decent bit. So right here, they buy these for 1 million a piece. So that's how much they buy for. And if I go to /ice top Wrench, there's another person I know buys these. We can see that he buys them for 5 million for 8. So it's not as much worth it, and I believe he also buys experience. Yeah, 8 for 1.2 mil. So pretty much I'm just gonna go back to Ultra Precision Island and see if I can sell him some pieces. Alright, so I actually also want to buy these. These are for 600k each, so if I right click I can actually buy 16 from him just because I do want these. He's out of stock for now, but I'm gonna then see if I can sell some of these back. So maybe to sell them back for 9 mil. So I kind of make my money back, kind of like trade off like that. So that's kind of how I'm gonna end up doing that. Alright, so I'm gonna see pretty much who else is buying these things. So if I go over to Xenorange's island, we can see that. Let's see how much he buys them for. He buys. So I might just sell him the experienced boss fragments just because I kind of don't want them. And we're just gonna see what we get from those. The experienced one's gonna give us 450k, not that bad. But the, let's see, this goes 5 mil. Yes, we get 5 mil, and we get about 7 mil from him. It's not that bad. You can get like a lot of money, especially for the champion ones. The champion ones sell for a bunch of money. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works. The champion one's pretty rare, so if you grind up a lot, you can make a bunch of money off it. But once again, it takes like a lot of attention. It's not really my style. If it's something for you, it's for you. You can kind of go ahead and do that, and that's just kind of how that works. For me, though, I'm kind of going to be doing the entire opposite, where I don't really want to fight the dragon boss. I kind of just want to buy the pieces. I want to see if I can get a full set of explosives. So if I do /AH, I know there are some pieces that are selling for pretty cheap. So we have 30 million for a helmet, which is actually pretty expensive. So I know the explosive pieces themselves are going for around 600k, not that bad. Some people have been selling for 1 million. I don't think they're worth 1 million, but a lot of people have been selling them for 1 million, and I might start buying for 1 million just because it's a lot easier to just snatch them off the AH. Ooh, over here, so I just actually found that if I go to Taizumi's island, she actually selling, well, they're selling explosive pieces for 500k a pop, so that's 10 for 5 mil. So I'm just gonna buy some of these and see if I can get some. Well, they only had 7, so I guess that's out of that. But yeah, I'm just gonna like scan through all of the top tier islands and see if any of them are actually selling these pieces and see if I can buy them. Because like they always have like these really dope builds. Store's being renovated. Huh. Oh, look at it. 350k. I want it so bad. I'm gonna have to keep this place in mind so I can swing by later, just whenever that does open, because I definitely do want that. Alright, so I bought some boots for 9 mil, and I'm just gonna like send out a message to a lot of like the discords I'm in just to see who is selling these pieces, just see if I can get them for around 500 to 600k. If I have to buy them for 1 million, I will, but I'm at least gonna spend like the day, see if I can get them cheaper, and if I can't, I'll just kind of suck it up. But obviously, I really do want these pieces. Being able to double drops on mine, as well as being able to mine a 3x3 radius is super dope. So I do want to see about getting that as soon as possible. Alright, so there actually was an explosive dragon that spawned. It popped up in chat, and I DM'd some of the people who had the pieces, just so I could see if I could buy the pieces. They sold for different amounts. Some sold for 300k, some sold for about 500k. I'm trying to think of setting around 400k for buying them for, just because, I mean, that's already a lot higher than other people buy them for anyway. And obviously it's not as much as it sells on for H, but H is usually a lot more expensive because people don't really know the worth of these items. Alright, so I'm pretty much just going to craft a chestplate just because it's going to be easier, and I do want to show you guys how to do that anyway. But pretty much you just do this, and you get the pieces, and then from here you go here, and I believe it actually has to be perfect or it cries out a little bit. So if I do this, and there we go. So that's going to give us the Explosive Dragon Armor, and I'm just going to have it. And just like that, we're going to have an entire explosive set. So I'm gonna try it out and we're gonna see exactly how that works. Now, the one thing I did want to test is I know there is a 1% chance to mine a 3-block radius, and obviously that would hit the other part of the mine, but my question is, will it hit the deep slate? So we're gonna go straight down and just see if that does happen, and we're gonna find out from here. So thinking about it, there actually won't be a way for me to physically know when it's hitting that side. I can't really see over there, so there's not really much I can do. I'm trying to see if like I could kind of glitch it out somewhat. Yeah, that's not really gonna work out. In that case, I'm actually just gonna use the one up top and see if maybe I can test that one out. This one shouldn't have any issues because it's using normal blocks, so I have no real way to test if this works. The main way I could test it is by using Super Breaker. That'd be a lot easier. Oh, there we go. Actually, there we go. So it actually mined a bunch right there, and actually see how it went off. Actually broke some redstone as well. And that's pretty much how that works. That was a massive radius. So I want to see if I can find out how to use it with this. For now, I'm gonna go all the way down. Eventually, I like to drop down a few blocks, and I'll see if it also breaks the fence. Hopefully, it doesn't. So the 1% chance, it should proc like once every, obviously, 100 blocks. And basically that means it should proc twice every time I go down this. So we'll see if that's actually how that works. Oh, okay, so right there you actually saw it went off. And good, you actually did see break the other side. And I actually didn't break any of my fences. So that's gonna be actually really, really helpful. What I kind of want to do in that case is upgrade this so that it works really well with my explosive set. Alright, so I actually spent like the entire night trying to figure out how to make it work with the explosive set, and I think I figured out something cool, but I'm actually not going to do it this video. That's because there is a lot of things that goes into it, and I know people are going to want a guide, and I really don't want to like have to like show you guys this video and then like make the other one it. So I'm actually going to leave this on a cliffhanger. And actually, give me a second, because I have some stuff I have to get real quick. Alright, so I just real quick did a trade. I bought some fragments. I'm going to be pretty much doing this for a little bit. So if you have any fragments you want to hand to me, let me know. I am happy to pick them up. But yeah, so it's really cool. It's a really great concept, and I think it's going to work really, really well. I do want to test it more and see if I can make like a better version overall, but just know that I found out a really good way to use the explosive fragments with the cobblestone generator. Anyhow, was an amazing video. I will try to work on the next one like pretty soon, that way I can get them bulked out and pushed out. I might make it today, get it posted tomorrow, but I am going to send this one out. And once again, like, I'm having a great time with this. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are really pushing me forward to keep going, and I really like it a lot, so thanks so much. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, you know, the classic stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Hey, we're out here, trying to get it done. Lost faith for a minute there. Working hard in the hot sun. I'm trying to keep that to myself.